بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذي جعل الشمس ضياء والقمر نورا وقدره منازل لتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب ما خلق الله ذلك إلا بالحق يفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون صدق الله العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم. Alhamdulillah, our discussion for the last 9-10 nights has been about Tawheed, about Aqidah, about beliefs about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This discussion, inshallah, should help us to make our iman and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala firm and never doubt in the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, never doubt in the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, never doubt in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The verse that was just recited is one of the verses of Surah Yunus, which we heard in the Taraweeh Salah today. One point today we like to highlight is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the perfect system of time. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the perfect system of time, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the perfect universe which enables us to calculate time. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the 4th juz, وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاءَ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا بَاطِلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in Surah Sad, وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاءَ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا بَاطِلًا, that we did not create the heavens and the earth and whatever is in between in vain, meaning without any purpose, without any reason. So we all know that time is a measurement which is fixed. Time never speeds up, it never slows down. It is constant, it is uniform. And this system Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in place is a perfect to enable the humans to calculate and put a place in system by which time can be identified, and something that what we call calendar. So when we look at the earth to begin with, first of all, the time it takes the earth to go around the sun on its axis, it takes 24 hours, i.e. one day. The earth never speeds up, it never slows down. The earth, the speed by which the earth is spinning, is 1,000 miles per hour on the point of the earth. We also know that the earth orbits the sun, and the earth travels at around 66,000 miles an hour. That is when the earth is away from the sun for around the distance of 93 million miles away. 93 million miles away. And in 1 year, which is around 365 and a quarter day, it travels around 600,000 miles. 600 million miles. So all of this traveling of the earth around the sun at this speed, at its perfect axis, how can it be possible without any being behind it? Now when we look at the times of Salah, they're all related to the position of the sun from the earth. You have the morning, you have the midday, you have the mid-afternoon, then you have the sunset, you have the night time. So each day, every day, a believer will pray 5 times a day, and this will be a means of direct connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now when we look at the months, it takes the moon to complete one orbit of the earth, which is 29 or 30 days. So the moon, it orbits the earth, it takes around 29 or 30 days, and the moon itself travels around 2,300 miles per hour, whereas the moon is around 200,000 miles away. Now each month, the moon travels around 1.5 million miles around the earth. 1.5 million miles around the earth, it travels in 1 month. And how is this possible again? All of this is clear sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator. There is no being, there is no coincidence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of all of this. Now when you look at the calendar itself, the full entire year, which we have 12 months in Islamic calendar as well, Now, when we compare the Islamic calendar to our normal calendar, now it takes a whole year for the earth to complete the orbit around the sun. Now, if the Islamic calendar was the same, then each year the season would have been the same, the month would have been the same, the length of the fast in the month of Ramadan would have been the same each year, depending where you are. Some people will always have long fast, some people will always have medium fast, some people will always have short fast. Ramadan will always be in the same season each year. So the rotation of the year being short is also a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that our season and the month also rotates. Compared to the English calendar, the Islamic calendar is slightly shorter. So for the whole the orbit to come together again, the whole cycle to come together again, where if you have the Islamic calendar and the normal calendar to start at the same time, obviously the Islamic calendar is slightly less, so it will be faster than that. So it takes around 32 or 34 years, whereas when they meet up again. Now there's another point here is that when we look at the shape of the heavenly objects that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, the moon, the earth, they have been created in a perfect shape. Now imagine if they were created in a cube form, or if they were created in a very random form, then the orbit around the sun, the moon, all of this won't be perfect as it is right now. As it is perfect, everything is rotating in a perfect manner. There is no scientific explanation to how can this be possible. It is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself has created this. It cannot be any coincidence. You cannot have something crash together and expand and create this amazing system in this system. It cannot happen at all. Just to finish on the story of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, in the time of the King Harun al-Rashid, once what happened was, he was Amirul Mu'minin at that time. Atheists came and there was a discussion that I don't believe in the divine being. How can it be possible? I don't believe in all of this. So if you want to convince me, bring somebody I can debate with. So Harun al-Rashid, he sent a message to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi that, "O Imam," he was the Imam of the Ummah at that time. So he said that there's an atheist who has arrived in my court and he denies in the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he wants to debate this matter with you. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he gave an answer that, okay, I will arrive at this time. So the time was fixed. The atheists and the people were awaiting in the Harun al-Rashid's palace. The atheist himself was there waiting, and Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he didn't arrive on his appointed time. He was late. So after meeting, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, when he was asked about his late arrival, Imam Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi replied. And the reply and the response he gave was that, look, when I set off from home, I have to cross a river, the river Tigris, I have to cross over this. So when I came to the shore and when I came to the edge of this river, I tried to look for a boat, but I couldn't find any. Then after some time, I noticed there was an old boat that was just smashed into pieces on the side. Now, my gaze fell onto this boat, which was scattered and broken, and I noticed that this boat started to assemble itself, the planks, the screws and the nails, and the machine, and the motor, and everything started to form itself, and automatically it formed into a new perfect boat, and it sailed towards me. There was no sailor in there, but I got onto the boat, and the boat took me across to the other side of the river, and it brought me, and I came off, and I've come here. This is the reason why I am late. So then now the atheist started to laugh, and he started, to make a joke. And he said that, look, I thought that you were going to bring somebody who's clever. Look at this person, what kind of, absurd sentence he's saying. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi asked him that, do you think I'm lying? Do you think I'm making things up? So the atheist replied, obviously you're making things up. How can it be possible? So Imam Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi is saying that, look, listen, if a boat cannot be built without a builder, how is it possible for the entire universe to come into existence without a creator? How can the entire universe, this perfect system, come into existence without a creator? So this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our iman. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to understand the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is important that we discuss Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our children. Otherwise, when we don't discuss Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to our children, then what will happen is that, and what does happen is that they have their own imagination of who Allah could be. Sometimes you say about Allah and they think, Superman. You come up with all of these characters. Why? Because from young age, they grew up in the atmosphere where they were exposed to all of these characters. So when we talk about somebody strong, these cartoon characters come into their mind. So we need to try to eradicate and we need to try to remove that out of their minds. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nothing like this. We cannot compare Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to anything. Now if you can't see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that doesn't mean that we don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are so many examples, several durus ago in our hadith dars as well, we touched on this topic as well, where we mentioned that there are so many things that exist. We believe that they exist, but we don't see them with our eyes. You can have so many examples. For example, the oxygen, we believe that oxygen is there, we believe the wind is there, but we don't see the form of the wind. We don't see the form of the oxygen, and etc. So like this, we discuss Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to our children, the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And discussion about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't necessarily mean that it has to take place whilst in a classroom or you're sitting them down on the sofa and on the floor and talking. No, wherever we are, we've gone out to the park, we've gone out for a drive, we've gone somewhere, we're walking, and the weather's changing. Any moment you get, you highlight the point that, look, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have the fruit placed in front of us. For example, sometimes the fruit, exact same fruit, but one day it will be red color, the other day it will be a green color, one day it will be sweet, the other day it will be sour. So all of these points, you highlight to them that who is the creator, who is the being that who's created all of this. Now the skin is there, how the skin is protecting the apple. Now who thought of this, and how, all of these things. So, take the opportunity and take that chance to explain our Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to our children. Then inshallah, in that way, slowly, gradually, inshallah, they will be able to understand who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, and they will be able to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us such iman where we are able to hold on to iman till our death, and we die with this iman. Allahumma ameen. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to make the most of the remaining 20 odd nights. It's nearly 10 nights already done, 10 rosas already done. We're already completing the days of rahmah, and the days of maghfirah will begin, and the last 10 days of salvation from Jahannam. So make the most of these precious moments. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to practice upon these points. Allahumma ameen. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bi rahmatika ya arham.